Welcome to the fifth session of the chapter The Enemy. The previous chapters we had read how Tom, a US sailor, and during the war between Japan and America, was washed at the doorstep of a Japanese doctor, Dr. Sadao. Dr. Sadao saw that man was wounded, Tom was wounded. So he could not take a decision. His wife Hana took the decision. They take the man home, and it was then that Sadao operated that man. After few days, we found that Sadao was taking care of that man. Hana was also taking care of the man. But the servants they resisted. They did not like the presence of Tom inside the house. Sadao could not do anything. He typed a report to the chief of police but did not know what to do with that report. And then what happened was he found an astonishing thing, and that was that the servants left the house. This was what when they were telling the couple that they do not like what they were doing. And in the afternoon, a soldier came in an official uniform, and this soldier had come to call Sadao because the general required an operation. When the general was okay, Sadao informed the general about the presence of Tom. We expect him to be angry, but the general was very happy because he thought that if he could do so much for an enemy, he would do all the more for himself. So he promised. He promised to take Sadao out of this problem, and he promised to send two assassins. Assassins who would kill Tom, and here Sadao had got no option. The reason he had told the general, now whatever the general says he has to do, and plus he could not see Hana suffering, and she had to do the household work, plus mentally she was suffering because she was always under the fear that anybody could come and arrest Sadao. Now let us see what is there in the remaining chapter. In the remaining chapter, Sadao waits for 3 nights for the assassins to come, and the assassins don't come. After that, he takes the decision, helps that man to escape, and that is the end of this chapter. So let us see what is his mental condition, his physical condition during the 3 nights that he waits for the assassins to come. So let us see here, page number 42. Let's begin. Sadao slept badly that night. Time and again he woke thinking he heard the rustling of footsteps, the sound of a twig broken, or a stone displaced in the garden, a noise such as men might make who carried a burden. He was just imagining that people have come, they are carrying a burden. But when he reached Tom's room the next morning, he found Tom was still there. Then, the next morning, he made the excuse to go first into the guest room. If the American were gone, he then could simply tell Hana that was so the general had directed. But when he opened the door, he saw at once that there on the pillow was the shaggy blonde head. That means Tom was still there. He could hear the peaceful breathing of sleep, and he closed the door again quietly. He is asleep, he told Hana. He is almost well to sleep like that. What shall we do with him? Hana whispered her old refrain, because she again and again wanted Sadao to take a decision. Take a decision, what do we have to do with this man? Then Sadao shook his head. I must decide in a day or two, he promised. But certainly he thought the second night must be the night. There rose a wind that night, and he listened to the sounds of bending boughs and whistling partitions. Because of wind, what happened? The trees were making noise, the partitions were making noise, all this noise could be heard. Hana woke up. Ought not we go and close the sick man's partition? She asked. No, Sadao said. He is able to do it for himself. He was stopping Hana from going into the room because he thought the assassins might have come. But the next morning, the American was still there. Then the third night, of course, must be the night. The wind changed to quiet rain, and the garden was full of the sound of dripping eaves and running springs. Sadao slept a little better, but he woke at the sound of a crash and leaped to his feet. And students, he must have thought if a crash is heard, that means the assassins must have come. What was that? Hana cried. The baby woke at her voice and began to wail. I must go and see. But he held her and would not let her move. Sadao, she cried. What's the matter with you? She could not understand why Sadao was stopping her. Okay, don't go, he muttered, don't go. His terror infected her, and she stood breathless, waiting. There was only silence. Together they crept back into the bed, the baby between them, because he thought that the assassins must have come. Yet when he opened the door of the guest room in the morning, there was the young man. That means the general did not send the assassins. Then he was very gay and had already washed and was now on his feet. He had asked for a razor yesterday and had shaved himself, and today there was a faint color in his cheeks, and this faint color shows that he was recovering. Then, I am well, he said joyously. He was very happy. Sadao drew his kimono round his weary body. He was very tired because 3 nights he could not sleep properly. Then he could not, he decided suddenly go through another night. It was not that he cared for this young man. No, simply it was not worth the strain. He said, no, I now cannot take the strain. I must take a decision. Now students, see how he plans to help Tom escape. What was his plan? Let us see. You are well, Sada agreed. He lowered his voice. You're so well that I think if I put my boat on the shore tonight with food and extra clothing in it, you might be able to row to that little island not far from the coast. It is so near the coast that it has not been worth fortifying. Students, just understand his plan. I had told you earlier that here was the sea, the rocks, the pine trees, and here there was certain rocky area, and here was Sadao's house. There was an island here in the sea somewhere, and it was so close that people did not go there. He said that I'll give you a boat, you go to that island, okay, and then see the next plan, because you have to prepare this plan one after the other. Then you could live there until you saw Korean fishing boat pass by. They passed quite near the island because the water is many fathoms deep there. He said, you'll wait on this island, then Korean fishing boats pass from there. So you take any Korean fishing boat and you can go. Then the young man stared at him, slowly comprehending. Do I have to? He asked. Students, this line, this dialogue, an enemy is saying, do I have to go from here? And this enemy is feeling himself safe in another enemy's house, and he's saying, do I have to leave your house? Now, I think so, Sadao said gently. You understand, it is not hidden that you are here. The young man nodded in perfect comprehension. Okay, he said simply, because he understood Sadao's condition and he did not want that Sadao should fall into problem because of him. Then Sadao did not see him until evening. As soon as it was dark, he had dragged the stout boat down to the shore, and in it he put food and bottled water that he had bought secretly during the day, as well as 2 quilts he had bought at a pawn shop. Students, understand, he was helping that man escape, but he was taking that care also that he gets proper food, he gets proper water, because he will not be able to drink that sea water. He gets proper clothes and 2 quilts also, because it might become cold in the night. So he was taking care of each and everything. He put all those things in the boat. Then the boat he tied to a post in the water, for the tide was high. There was no moon and he worked without a flashlight. He was taking care that nobody sees him. Then when he came to the house, he entered as though he were just back from his work, and so Hana knew nothing. Yumi was here today, she said, and she served his supper. Though she was so modern, still she did not eat with him. Yumi cried over the baby. She went on with a sigh. She misses him so. The servants will come back as soon as the foreigner is gone, Sadao said. They said, as soon as he is gone, they'll come back. He went into the guest room that night before he went to bed himself, and checked carefully the American's temperature, the state of the wound, and his heart and pulse. The pulse was irregular, but that was perhaps because of excitement, because now he has to escape. That excitement was there. The young man's pale lips were pressed together and his eyes burned. Only the scars on his neck were red. I realize you are saving my life again, he told Sadao, because earlier I had saved his life by taking the bullet out. Not at all, Sadao said. It is only inconvenient to have you here any longer. He had hesitated a good deal about giving the man a flashlight, but he had decided to give it to him after all. It was a small one, his own, which he used at night when he was called. Now see the instructions. If your food runs out before you catch a boat, he said, signal me 2 flashes at the same instant the sun drops over the horizon. Students, one thing is there. Sadao would be standing here in the balcony. The man would be there on the island here in the sea. He told him that if you want something, then in that case you have to give me 2 flashes. 2 flashes, that means, and that too when the sun is just dropping over the horizon. That means that not in the dark and not during the daylight. Daylight, of course, you'll not be able to see, in dark, because then somebody would be able to see also that there is some flashlight or something coming. So he said, just at that time you give me 2 flashes, and it is not at a fixed time every time. So that means for that time he would be standing in the balcony of his house and seeing those flashes. So it was not that he helped that man to escape. After that, his responsibility, he thought, got over. He took care of, after that also, what was that man going to do? He was giving him proper instructions. See the next instructions he gave. Do not signal in darkness, for it will be seen. If you are all right but still there, signal me once. You will find fresh fish easy to catch, but you must eat them raw. A fire would be seen. Okay, the young man breathed. He was dressed now in the Japanese clothes which Sadao had given him, and at the last moment, Sadao wrapped a black cloth around his blonde head. Students, the dress was Japanese. He tied a black cloth so that from a distance his blonde hair could not be seen, the fair hair, yellow hair could not be seen. And then what happened? He gave him all the things, all the instructions, and he asked him to go. Now, Sadao said. The young American, without a word, shook Sadao's hand warmly and then walked quite well across the floor and down the step into the darkness of the garden. Once, twice, Sadao saw the light flash to find his way, but that would not be suspected. He waited until from the shore there was one more flash. Then he closed the partition. That night he slept. The reason? The man had gone. Now he had a peaceful sleep. Okay, now after this, what happened was the general required again an operation, and then when he was okay, Sadao informed him about the escape of that man. Okay, we are ending session number 5 here. Okay, if we have time, we'll continue it. Then the young American, that night he slept. So let's finish off the chapter today itself. You say the man escaped, the general asked faintly. He informed him the man escaped. So let's see the diplomatic decision, Sadao's diplomatic decision. He said the man escaped. He did not say I helped him to escape. This is a diplomatic statement, is it? Man escaped. He had been operated upon a week before, an emergency operation to which Sadao had been called in the night. For 12 hours, Sadao had not been sure the general would live. The gallbladder was much involved. Then the old man had begun to breathe deeply again and to demand food. Sadao had not been able to ask about the assassins. So far as he knew, they had never come. The servants had returned, and Yumi had cleaned the guest room thoroughly and had burned sulfur in it to get the white man's smell out. Students, see, I told you about this word prejudice. If Japanese were prejudiced towards Americans, Americans were also prejudiced towards Japanese, and when Yumi came back, she burned sulfur to get the white man's smell out. So that shows how Japanese were prejudiced towards Americans. You will get the example of Americans being prejudiced also towards Japanese afterwards. Then, the servants had returned and Yumi had burned sulfur in to get the white man's smell out of it. Nobody said anything. Only the gardener was angry, because he had got behind with his chrysanthemums. See, there was a season of sowing chrysanthemums, or flowers. And that season had gone and he was a little bit behind, so he was angry because that time he was not there in the house. Then, but after a week, Sadao felt the general was well enough to be spoken about the prisoner. Yes, Excellency escaped, Sadao now said. He coughed, signifying that he had not said all he might have said, but was unwilling to disturb the general further. But the old man opened his eyes suddenly. That prisoner? He said with some energy. Did I not promise you I would I would kill him for you? You did, Excellency, Sadao said. Well, the old man said in a tone of amazement. So I did, but you see, I was suffering a good deal. The truth is, I thought of nothing but myself. In short, I forgot my promise to you. Here we understand Sadao understood that 3 days if the assassins have not come, the general must have forgotten. And the same case happened here. But students, because of this, whose condition has become stronger now? Sadao? Because if he is asked, he'll tell. If he is caught that Tom was present inside your house, he would say, I had informed the general. The general knows, and the general dare not say, I don't know, because Sadao had informed him. So now whose condition has become strong here? Sadao. And whose condition has become weak here? The general. So see now how the general patches the condition. So see here. I wondered, Your Excellency, Sadao murmured. It was certainly very careless of me, the general said. But you understand, it was not lack of patriotism or dereliction of duty. Students, one question, this is an NCERT question. What was the reason that the general forgot the promise? He says it was not lack of patriotism. Yes, because it is not a question of war where he had to show his patriotism. It was not that. It was not dereliction of duty. Dereliction means not following the duty properly. So it was not a part of duty also to help Sadao. So it was not dereliction of duty also. Then he looked anxiously at his doctor. If the matter should come out, you would understand that, wouldn't you? Now he was trying to convince Sadao. Then, certainly, Your Excellency, Sadao said. He suddenly comprehended that the general was in the palm of his hand, because now he was in his control. Then, as a consequence, he himself was perfectly safe. I can swear to your loyalty, Excellency, he said to the old general, and to your zeal against the enemy. You are a good man, the general murmured and closed his eyes. you will be rewarded. You students, rewarded for what? He's done nothing. But he was trying to, in fact, bring Sadao on his side so that Sadao does not say anything against him. Then, but Sadao, searching the spot of black in the twill-lighted sea that night, had his reward. There was no prick of light in the dark. No prick of light, because he had told him, if you are there and you are okay, give me one prick of light. No prick of light means the man was okay and he had escaped. Then, no one was on the island. His prisoner was gone, safe, doubtless, for he had warned him to wait only for a Korean fishing boat. Then he stood for a moment on the veranda, gazing out to the sea from whence the young man had come that other night. Students, you have to understand one thing. How did he help that man? He arranged a boat, put food, water, then quilts and everything, and plus he gave him instructions that go on that particular island. Then if you get fish, if you are hungry, you can eat fish raw. If you are okay, you have to give me one signal. If you require food or water, you have to give me two signals. All those things. And he said only wait for a Korean fishing boat. And now when the man was okay, Sadao was again standing the same place from where the story started. He was standing in the veranda, the story is going to get over, and he was standing in the veranda again. But see his thoughts now. And who came in front of his eyes and why? So let us see. He stood for a moment on the veranda, gazing out to the sea from whence the young man had come that other night. And into his mind, although without reason, there came other white faces he had known. Students, one after the other, like characters, all those white faces came in front of his eyes. Who? The professor at whose house he had met Hannah. That same professor who had shown what? Kindness. So you have to remember kindness over here. The professor at whose house he had met Hannah, a dull man, and his wife had been a silly talkative woman in spite of her wish to be kind. So remember, his professor and his wife, both of them showed kindness. Then he remembered his old teacher of anatomy who had been so insistent on mercy with the knife, and then he remembered the face of his flat and slatternly landlady. Students, the second person who came in front of his eyes was his professor of anatomy, who had said, just because you have a knife in your hand, you cannot do anything with that patient, because the patient is a life. Have kindness with that knife, because it is going to hurt that person later on when he wakes up. So he said, be kind with your knife. Then the third person was the landlady. Then what did he learn from that landlady? Just see. He had great difficulty in finding a place to live in America because he was a Japanese. The Americans were full of prejudice. I told you. You'll get example here. The Americans were full of prejudice, and it had been bitter to live in it, knowing himself their superior. Now, how he had despised the ignorant and dirty old woman who had at last consented to house him in her miserable home. He had once tried to be grateful to her because she had in his last year nursed him through influenza. Students, when nobody was giving him a house in America on rent, it was this landlady who had given the house on rent. So what had she shown? Kindness. And the last year in America, he had got flu, and that time who nursed him was the landlady. That means, what did he learn from the landlady? Kindness. Then it was difficult, for she was no less repulsive to him in her kindness. Now he remembered the youthful, haggard face of his prisoner, white and repulsive. Strange, he thought. I wonder why I could not kill him. So if you understand, what is not given in the chapter is that Sadao, when he lived in America, must have inherited that American sentimentality, that kindness. And by being kind to Tom, in fact, he was repaying all that kindness. The professor was kind to him. The professor of anatomy told, be kind with the knife. The landlady was kind to him. And he had learned that all these people were kind to him in spite of the thing that from inside they were prejudiced. So he learned that by being good to Tom, he was also trying to repay that kindness, and the same was the case with Hannah. That's why Hannah was supporting Sadao. Both of them had lived in America, and somewhere they had got that American sentimentality in them. That's why they were different from the three servants. And then see the last line that is there, you can see again the dilemma. Strange, he thought, I wonder why I could not kill him. He said, I had got the full option that I could kill this man, but I did not kill him. Okay, so this is the end of the chapter, The Enemy. Why this chapter has been titled The Enemy is one enemy coming to an enemy's house, that enemy saving this enemy, this enemy feeling himself safe in an enemy's house, and towards the last the enemy helping another enemy to escape. So this is where you understand the whole chapter. The question answers of this chapter you have to see carefully, because they force you to think. And the first question is very important for you, because the question says that somewhere we have to make hard choices between between the roles of private individuals and as citizens with sense of national loyalty. That means in Sadao also, that was the duty of a doctor, the duty of a nationalist, but the duty of a doctor overlapped the duty of a nationalist. This is how we understand this whole chapter. So sometimes we behave as individuals which go against the nation, because as a national a person with a nationality, he should have handed over that man to the army. He did not, because he was following the duty of a doctor. Then the second question, why Hana helped Sadao? The reason is that she was a very dutiful wife. She lived in America, and plus at the same time she knew Sadao was not able to take decisions. She took decisions. So that was the reason. Then how would you explain the reluctance of the soldier? The soldier was reluctant to go from that particular place because he was feeling himself safe in an enemy's house. He could never see Sadao and Hana as his enemy. So this is question number 3. Then what is the attitude of the general? Was it human consideration? All these are ruled out. Only one thing is there. It was his self-absorption. He was so absorbed in his illness that he thought of nothing, and that's why he forgot to send assassins. Then after that, what makes a human being rise above narrow prejudices? Yes, humanity. That is the thing that helps human beings come above narrow prejudices, and that is why Sadao and Hana helped Tom. So we are stopping here. Then I'll be sending you the question answers later on. Thank you.